Today, we're diving deep into the life of one of the Premier League's most exciting talents, Bryan Mbeumo. This guy's been lighting up the pitch for Brentford and now Manchester United, and trust me, his story is one you don't want to miss. From his roots in a small French town to becoming a Cameroonian international superstar, we're covering everything: his age, family, net worth, lifestyle, and a full-on biography that'll give you the complete picture. If you're hyped to learn more about this rising star, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright, let's kick things off with the basics. Bryan Tetsadong Marceau Mbeumo was born on August 7, 1999, in Avallon, a small, picturesque town in central-eastern France. As of right now, July 2025, that makes him 25 years old. Avallon's not exactly a football hotbed, it's more known for its cobblestone streets and historic vibes, but that's where Bryan's journey began. Growing up in a modest, middle-class household, Bryan was raised by his French mother, Angelique Gouge, and his Cameroonian father, whose name hasn't been widely shared in the media. He's got an older sister named Maeva Gouge, and the family's tight-knit bond has been a huge part of his story. Bryan's parents worked hard to give him and his sister a solid foundation, and you can see that humility in how he carries himself today. Now, Bryan's love for football started early, like, really early. At just 6 years old, he was already kicking a ball around with CO Avallon, his local club. Picture a young Bryan, full of energy, tearing up the pitches in Avallon with dreams bigger than his hometown. His parents saw his passion and supported him every step of the way, even when it meant sacrifices. By the time he was 14, his talent was undeniable, and he got scouted by Troyes, a club over 100 miles away from Avallon. Moving to a new city at that age? That's a big deal, and it shows how much his family believed in him. They were all in on his football dream, and it paid off big time. Let's talk about his early career because this is where things start to get exciting. At Troyes, Bryan joined their youth academy in 2013 and quickly became a standout. His speed, technical skills, and knack for finding the net had coaches buzzing. By 2017, he was already making waves with Troyes reserve team, and in February 2018, he got his big break, his senior debut in a 1-0 League One win over FC Metz. That season, Troyes got relegated to League Two, but it gave Bryan a chance to shine. In the 2018-19 season, he became a regular, racking up 40 appearances and scoring 11 goals. Oh, and let's not forget, he was part of Troyes U19 squad that won the 2018 Coupe Gambardella, a prestigious French youth competition. He even scored twice in the final at the Stade de France. Talk about a clutch performer. But the real game-changer came in August 2019 when Bryan made a massive move to England, signing with Brentford in the EFL Championship for a club record £5.8 million. That's a lot of pressure for a 20-year-old, but Bryan handled it like a pro. In his debut season with Brentford, he smashed 16 goals in 47 appearances, earning nominations for EFL Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year at the 2020 London Football Awards. The guy was a menace on the wing, using his left foot to cut inside and cause chaos for defenders. His partnership with striker Ivan Toney was straight-up deadly, and together, they helped Brentford win promotion to the Premier League in 2021 after a 2-0 victory over Swansea City in the Championship playoff final. That moment? Pure magic for Brentford fans. Fast forward to the 2024-25 season, and Bryan was absolutely on fire. He scored 20 Premier League goals and added 9 assists in 42 matches, outperforming his expected goals by a whopping 7.7, the highest in the league. His finishing was clinical, his dribbling was silky, and his ability to create chances was next level. No wonder big clubs came knocking. In July 2025, Manchester United swooped in with a £65 million deal, potentially rising to £71 million with add-ons, to bring him to Old Trafford. Bryan called it, the club of my dreams, and you can bet his childhood self, who grew up idolizing United, was over the moon. He's now rocking the number 19 jersey for the Red Devils, and early signs show he's ready to take the Premier League by storm. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about Bryan's international career because it's a story of pride and identity. Born in France, Bryan represented Les Bleus at the U17, U20, and U21 levels, earning 10 caps. But his heart was with Cameroon, his father's homeland. In 2022, after a meeting with Cameroonian legend Samuel Eto'o, Bryan made the switch to represent the indomitable Lions. He debuted for Cameroon in September 2022 and even scored in his first game. By the end of that year, he was playing in the FIFA World Cup, appearing in all 3 of Cameroon's matches. For Bryan, wearing the Cameroon jersey is more than just football, it's about honoring his heritage and making his family proud. Now, let's get to the question everyone's curious about: who's Bryan Mbeumo's wife or girlfriend? Well, here's the deal, Bryan's super private about his personal life. As of 2025, there's no confirmed info about a wife or kids. There's been some buzz about a veiled girlfriend whose identity he keeps under wraps, but Bryan doesn't post about his love life on social media, and he's not one to spill the tea in interviews. What we do know is that he values his family and close friends deeply. He's super close with his mom, Angelique, and his sister, Meva, who chose not to use the family's Cameroonian surname, Mbeumo, to carve out her own identity. Bryan's all about keeping things low-key off the pitch, and honestly, that just makes him more relatable. Speaking of family, let's dive into that a bit more. Bryan's parents played a huge role in his success. His mom, Angelique Gouge, and his dad, who's from Douala, Cameroon, raised him with a strong work ethic and a sense of humility. Growing up in Avallon wasn't always easy, money was tight, and the family lived a modest life. But they made sure Bryan had everything he needed to chase his dreams, from sending him to Jeanne d'Arc College for a solid education to supporting his move to Troyes as a teenager. Bryan's never forgotten his roots, and he's spoken about how much his parents' sacrifices mean to him. His dad's Cameroonian heritage is a big part of his identity, and it's why he's so proud to represent Cameroon on the international stage. Now, let's talk money, because you know you're curious about Bryan Mbeumo's net worth. As of 2025, estimates put his net worth anywhere between £5 million and £15 million. At Brentford, he was earning around £45,000 per week, which is solid, but his move to Manchester United likely doubled that, with reports suggesting he's now on about £150,000 per week, not including bonuses. Add in endorsements with brands like Nike, and you've got a guy who's doing pretty well for himself. His transfer value is another story. His market value in 2025 is around €55 million, or roughly £45.7 million, according to Transfermarkt. That's a far cry from the £5.8 million Brentford paid for him back in 2019. Talk about a glow-up. But Bryan's not one to flash his wealth. His lifestyle is surprisingly grounded for a Premier League star. He's got a nice place in London, reportedly drives an Audi and a Range Rover, and enjoys chilling with hobbies like playing chess and the piano. Yeah, you heard that right. This guy's out here checkmating opponents on and off the pitch. He's also a big gamer, with FIFA and Call of Duty being his go-tos when he's not training. Oh, and if you follow him on Instagram, at Bryan_M19, you might catch him flexing his desert buggy, a high-speed 4x4 electric runner he loves racing during vacations. It's clear Bryan knows how to have fun, but he's not about that extravagant, party-all-the-time vibe. He's focused, humble, and all about the grind. Let's break down what makes Bryan so special on the pitch. This dude's a right winger with a lethal left foot, but he's not just a one-trick pony. He can play as a forward, an attacking midfielder, or even a wingback in a 3-4-3 setup, like he did during Brentford's 2022-23 preseason. His agility, dribbling, and ability to find space make him a nightmare for defenders. He's got this knack for cutting inside and either smashing a shot or setting up a teammate with a pinpoint pass. And don't sleep on his set-piece skills. His free kicks and corners are straight-up dangerous. In the 2024-25 season, he was Brentford's go-to penalty taker, stepping up when Ivan Toney was sidelined. His 20 goals and 9 assists that season. That's the kind of impact that had Manchester United and Tottenham fighting for his signature. Speaking of that transfer saga, let's rewind to the summer of 2025. Bryan was at the peak of his powers, and the rumour mill was in overdrive. Tottenham, managed by former Brentford boss Thomas Frank, were in the race, but Manchester United won out, reportedly agreeing to personal terms with Bryan before sealing the deal with Brentford. Cameroon teammate Andre Onana, United's goalkeeper, was publicly hyping up the move, which probably helped seal the deal. The £65 million transfer fee was massive, but for a player with Bryan's versatility and goal-scoring prowess, it's looking like a bargain already. Off the pitch, Bryan's lifestyle reflects his down-to-earth personality. He's not out here buying diamond-encrusted watches or throwing wild parties. Instead, he's all about staying connected with his family and roots. He's super proud of his Cameroonian heritage, and you can see that in how he talks about representing Cameroon. His parents instilled in him a sense of discipline and gratitude, and it shows in how he handles fame. Whether he's chilling with his sister Maeva or catching up with old Brentford teammates like Ivan Toney and Yoane Wissa, Bryan keeps his circle tight and his focus sharper. Let's wrap this up with a quick look at where Bryan's headed. At 25, he's just entering his prime, and his move to Manchester United is a huge step up. With his work rate, versatility, and knack for big moments, he's got the potential to become a global superstar. Whether he's cutting in from the right, banging in penalties, or creating chances for his teammates, Bryan Mbeumo is the real deal. And off the pitch, he's a guy who stays true to his values, his family, and his love for the game.